hold on. There we go. Now we're recording. Ha ha. Let me start over. Ha ha. Right. So in Photoshop, we're going to create a new document. Now, in the assignment, it says that the camera size is 1080p, and the measurement for that is 1920 in terms of the width versus 1080, the height at a 16:9 aspect ratio. Now for the background, if we intend to just work by just animating, we don't have any intention to print, you can leave your resolution at 72 pixels per inch. If, however, you want to print, you don't know what could become of it, you can. So the width I'm going to have is 3 times the width and the same height. So no up and down movement, just panning across, left to right, or right to left, whichever one you want to do. Press OK. Now that means that this is an actual document that is 3 times as wide as the camera. So I'm going to go here, my width. I'm basically just setting up my camera aspect ratio. Right, so tick. Ta-da! So this is one thing. And let's say that's one camera width. This will be the second one. I'm just going to change the color scheme for each of them. And Control J. Oops. So that's 3 times the size of your full camera. Right, so that's 3 times the width. All these people are awful. So I'm hearing a commercial on the radio that says visit St. Thomas, which is practically the epicenter of the coronavirus. It's hilarious. So this is the size of the background we have. Each of them, I'm pressing Control R. That's to bring up my rulers. Pixels. So this first one should be 1920. Right. This next one should also be 1920 times that. And the last one should be that. So let's do a quick mock-up of a background. I'll just group these. Oof. So let's do some backgrounding. I just hope that while I'm doing this, I don't get the better of myself and sometimes just aim to do more than I'm supposed to. Alright, so I don't like this brush. It starts. Alright, so let's say that's our background for one. Right, maybe we want some clouds in there. Put clouds in there with a different brush. Maybe I don't like that. So let's just do something quick. I'm picky, guys. I'm so sorry. Oops. So let's assume that's a cloud. That's another cloud. That's a nice cloud. Don't get obsessed, Jake. They're just clouds. On the wrong layer. No. I need these to be on different layers, so bear with me again. I just lock these other layers so that they cannot be edited. Take out them snapping. Yes, that is an attractive cloud. Here, all these other clouds can just dead. You are going to be the cloud. The cloud. A cloud for a kid's cartoon. And let's just do things with this cloud. Yes, sir. Hmm. All layers, definitely not. And we'll simply do this. Not all layers to be sampled, just this one. And not contiguous. Just look for any open spaces, and I don't see any. Oh, here's one. Oops. I don't see you. What do you see on? I don't see any other open pieces. That's there, that's there. Carry this across. There we go. Alright, that's a lovely cloud. We just borrow all these lovely, lovely clouds. So That is two clouds, guys. Nice. So that's one background thingy. So this will be my background BG, after which I'm going to save them individually and call these clouds. Next set of stuff, foreground elements. So on. Gonna have some bougies. In the foreground. It's good to have references in cases like these. These are going to be foreground elements. Alrighty then. Lovely. Alright, so here's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a thing. Maybe we make it something else. Maybe a little gray versus the black to create that look. Let's change that to some sort of not color, but mayhaps some stuff. Yes, soft light.
You need to click on select on that layer.
Over here?
Yeah, like.
Oh, well, the cool thing about Photoshop or any other, well, so let's say you drew something on a screen or anything at all. Let me just create a different layer to show you. Let's say you drew something, right? Whoa. And you want to select just the pixels of that particular layer. You can hold CTRL. And if you're using a Mac, you'll hold Command and click on the thumbnail of the layer itself, and it'll create a selection for that layer. Now with that selection, you can always, do stuff on different layers. So for example, if I want to paint this background in that kind of look, then I could do that, right? Just because I have no that stuff. Right, so you can always use control to select the thumbnail layer. What some people do sometimes, let's say you want to do some shading, some very light shading, right? What we'll do is create the selection first here, and then on a different layer, just do a little touch up here and there, right? Just so it doesn't go outside that particular thing. And if you want, you could always just, offset it if you want to, or do something like a baking sheet and do that, and you know invert your selection, delete everything on the outside to create something like that. Yeah. So you can always do things like those. Like I said, boring background or terrible background. Just gonna do a quick thingy of thingamajiggy. And I say this is the background. Maybe just work with a black and white background. Yeah, yeah, I will do that. Color overlay. Foreground elements will be darker, right? Press OK. Then we might say, well, we want there to be a path of some sort here in the. So this will be my FG foreground. Something you guys did last year, I think. Right. Next one, you have some additional elements. Right, let's say we have the ground. Let's bring up the brush by pressing F5 and lower the spacing so we have more spacing to space things out with. And the hardness, we can do that and just do a thing like this. And this should be on a different layer, which we're going to put behind the foreground. Right, so that's where that's going. And we just fill that in. So that's going to be your where did that go? Oof, in the cloud layer. But that should be somewhere in between them. Let's fill those out. Right, so a few additional stuff could be inside this foreground. Maybe we have some trees, some bushes. Let's change the brush. Yay. What if COVID-19 was a conspiracy? My gosh. All these beautiful branches to get ruined by a bunch of these. Amazing. Like I said, nothing fancy, just things. It could probably be a fence. Wow, I'm taking my sweet time. You can go do some other stuff while I draw these backgrounds, guys. I mean, unless you're learning something from this. Right, so pam 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 pam. Excellent. So, my select, invert my selection, make me one of those things, and all I need to do is this. Right. So I'm just filling those out because I can. Right. That's two things so far. And one more thing we're just going to have is your new element. Something much lighter. Ah, lovely. Behind the cloud. Hmm, lovely, very lovely. Clouds seem to be behind that, so that needs to go behind this. Alright, so we have our background now. Probably one more element will be useful. Let's check our BG, or foreground elements. Alright, just borrow that color from there and just create another element for the foreground. What kind of element could we use? Another tree, perhaps. Shape dynamics and no transfer. That's one element, another element. Cool. Let's call that our elements. Now I want to save these individually. Foreground elements. Midground elements. And background elements. So each of these are going to be saved as something differently. So I'll have to hide these things individually. So let's begin, shall we? So I'm going to save this as school animation FG1. Check. Save as MG midground. Save as BG. Check. Clouds. Fine. Save as clouds. Save as guy. PNG sky say press OK. So quick markup of a background, right? And that's cooked nicely. Once that's been set up, we're going to jump into ToonBoom with all these different elements and create a nice little background thingy. So I'm going to end this particular recording session and we're going to jump back into ToonBoom to create our background, setting up the camera and everything. Thank you for watching so far.